Steve Rogers is a young man from Brooklyn whose heart is far bigger than his body. He has grown up sickly, thin, and physically weak, but despite all the challenges life throws at him, Steve carries a strong sense of courage and a deep desire to help others. As World War II intensifies and millions of lives are at risk, Steve wants nothing more than to enlist in the U.S. Army and fight for his country. But each time he tries, he is rejected because of his health issues. Even after repeated failures, he refuses to give up, and this unshakable determination becomes the foundation of his destiny. During one of his attempts to enlist, Steve catches the attention of Dr. Abraham Erskine, a scientist working on a top-secret government project. Dr. Erskine sees something in Steve that no machine or test can measure: bravery, humility, and compassion. Unlike strong soldiers who might misuse power, Steve has the moral strength to handle it responsibly. Seeing this quality, drive, Erskine chooses him for the Super Soldier program. Steve is brought to a hidden military facility, where he meets Peggy Carter, a confident and skilled officer, and Colonel Chester Phillips, who doubts whether a skinny kid like Steve can truly become a soldier. Steve undergoes tough training, and while he is not the fastest or the strongest, he always stands up again after falling. He dives on a grenade during a drill, thinking it is live, trying to save everyone around him. This act proves that Steve is the right choice. The experiment is conducted, and Steve steps into a chamber filled with advanced technology. The painful process begins, but Steve refuses to stop. When he emerges, he is transformed into a tall, strong, enhanced version of himself, the world's first super soldier. The joy of success is short-lived when a Hydra agent infiltrates the lab, kills Drive Erskine, and escapes with the serum formula. Steve chases him through the city with his new abilities, showcasing incredible speed and strength. Though he catches the agent, the remaining serum is destroyed, making Steve the only super soldier in existence. With Dr. Erskine gone, the military no longer knows how to recreate the serum, and Steve becomes both their greatest hero and their biggest responsibility. Despite his strength, Steve is not immediately sent into battle. Instead, he becomes a symbol of hope, performing in colorful shows as Captain America to promote war bonds. Though people cheer, Steve feels useless, knowing that real soldiers are risking their lives on the front lines while he dances on stage. Everything changes when he learns that his best friend, Bucky Barnes, and an entire unit of soldiers have been captured by Hydra. Against orders, Steve sets out alone to rescue them. He infiltrates the Hydra base, fights off guards with only a shield, and frees the prisoners, including Bucky. This daring mission finally proves that Steve is not just a performer, he is a true soldier. After returning with the rescued men, Steve forms his own team known as the Howling Commandos. With Peggy Carter by his side and Howard Stark providing advanced technology, Steve leads mission after mission, taking down Hydra strongholds and disrupting their operations across Europe. Meanwhile, Hydra's leader, Johann Schmidt, known as the Red Skull, uses the Tesseract, a powerful ancient artifact, to build dangerous weapons far beyond anything the world has seen. Schmidt believes he is destined to rule, and Hydra grows more destructive every day. The war reaches its climax when Steve discovers Schmidt's deadly plan to launch massive bombs at major cities around the world. If Schmidt succeeds, millions will die. Steve boards Schmidt's massive aircraft, fighting his way through soldiers and advanced technology. He confronts Schmidt in a tense final battle. During their fight, the unstable power of the Tesseract absorbs Schmidt, sending him to an unknown fate. But the danger is not over. The aircraft is still headed toward destruction. Realizing he has no way to safely land the plane without risking countless lives, Steve makes the hardest decision of his life. He chooses to sacrifice himself to save the world. In a heartbreaking moment, he shares one last conversation with Peggy Carter over the radio. They promise to meet for a dance, but both know the moment will never come. With calm acceptance, Steve crashes the plane into the icy Arctic. For decades, Steve Rogers is believed dead, remembered as a fallen hero who gave everything for humanity. But many years later, his frozen body is discovered intact in the ice. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a world completely different from the one he knew. The buildings, cars, sounds, and people have all changed. Nick Fury approaches him, revealing that he has been asleep for nearly 70 years. Steve, shocked but composed, simply says he had a date to keep, a reminder of the life he left behind and the sacrifice he made. This moment marks the beginning of a new chapter in his life, setting the stage for his future role in the modern world and the adventures that will follow with the Avengers.